Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Ai, te kujo! Odbyt pogod fo'n gynnu!
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, who's there?
Greetings, my good man. May I ask you a question?
Ask first, then I'll ask you something.
Really? Good then. We're looking for Ginger, a stable boy at a nearby stud farm. Have you seen him anywhere?
I don't know anyone called that. I'm not even from this part of the country.
What a shame. We're worried about him, but we can't seem to find him.
Truly, I haven't seen him. If I were you, I'd ask the charcoal burners.
Oh, definitely. What are you doing here?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Good day to you.
You have to...
Really? And
If you want proof, I can take you to them.
I'll take your word for it. All right, a bargain's a bargain. Ginger is hiding out in a ruined hut not far from here. There's an overgrown path that leads from there right to where Ginger is. Keep your eyes peeled, though. You could easily miss it.
Good. Thanks for your help.
God be with you.
Yeah.
Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like...
What?
Right, one thing at a time. Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone.
I'm looking for your friends. Where are they?
Charcoal burner?
To hell with the charcoal burners. Where are you?
They're not my mates. They nearly killed me. I recognize...
Recognize?
I don't know his name, only that he's from Ushitz, and he has a limp.
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ushitz, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
Why did you kill that bandit?
What? Bandit? I never killed anyone.
This is yours, isn't it? I pulled it from the belly of a dead bandit near the stud farm.
That is mine, but I didn't stab him. That fellow took it from me.
What fellow?
I don't know his name, but he's from Ushitz, and he has a limp.
He limps and he's from Ujic. That's not much to go on, but I suppose it'll have to do.
It's all I know. I never talked to him.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
Don't worry, I won't get bored.
All right. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to go for a piss. So I went out into the dark, same as usual, only there was something there that shouldn't have been. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light, but it wasn't. Then it was too late. They went past and I thought they must be horse thieves. I would have yelled, only I was afraid they'd kill me. So I waited until they were out of sight and I started to sneak away, but then...
Then the slaughtering started.
Yes. I thought they'd steal the horses and ride off. That would be bad enough, but then all the killing started and flames everywhere. It was terrible, like hell itself.
And then?
It seemed some of them didn't like it either. They started squabbling among themselves, and some of them started running back where they came from, right towards me. And I had that thing in my hand, the hoof pick.
So you stabbed the first one in the belly?
No. He ran right into me. He was running fast for a fellow with a limp. He pushed me aside and I fell on the ground. Then He told me I'd better lie low if I valued my life, and he ran off with the others. I did what he said and hid. Then the rest of the gang ran past.
And then?
Then I waited in case that limping one from Ujits came back. I didn't dare come out until I was sure. I think it was almost light.
What about the others? Was there anything you noticed about them?
I don't know. There might have been maybe 8 of them, and 2 of them were really big. That's all I can remember.
Do you know what they argued about?
I didn't hear everything, but I reckon some of them were only there to steal and wanted no part in the killing.
That sounds terrible. I know exactly how you feel.
If only...
I suppose I could. Do you know where I can find them?
I don't, but they must...
Well, I'll have a look.
I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well.
I was looking for that boy.
And you didn't bother.
I had to follow the trail before...
And what if some bandit skewered you and left you for dead? We'd never find you because you... I really don't know, my... Silence! Keep your ignorant mouth shut when I'm giving you the benefit of a veteran's wisdom. You do what I tell you, answer... I'd like to kick your arse back to the castle and be shut of you. But it's true, you're a fucking peasant who knows nothing about soldiering. It's my job to whip you into shape, so I'm not done with you yet. God have mercy on you if you ever try anything like that again. If you're lucky, I'll only have you whipped and clapped in the stocks. Because if I get my way, you'll be hanged for desertion. I hope we've got that out of the way. I've made myself absolutely clear.
I talked to Ginger and found out what happened.
Out with it, then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right. Since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around at Ujits. There's enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzik will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been.
Any chance of some work here, Captain?
That all depends on what you're ready to do, my lad. As I'm sure you've noticed, the roads around here are swarming with brigands. Sir Hanush has declared quite a reward for dealing with them.
So what do you think I should do about them?
We know about one of their encampments. It's to the east of Ratai in an abandoned mine. I don't really mind how you deal with them. Anyway, the leaders generally wear spurs, maybe like they're pretending they're nobility. Who cares? In any case, bring me the spurs, and I'll take it as proof.
Very well. I'll see to it.
Wait. In addition, Sir Hanush has offered a reward for every bandit who's killed. So take a good sharp dagger. You'll get a bit extra for each ear you...
Isn't that a bit barbaric?
Barbaric ways, for barbaric times, my boy.
That does make sense, I must admit.
Greetings. What business have you?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
Well, in the end, I tracked down the stable boy who fled in fear of his life, and for good reason, too. He put me on the trail of a crofter from Ujits with a limp.
And his name?
The boy didn't know him by name, only by sight. But if I ask around, I'm sure folk will know who limps and keeps peculiar company. Villagers like to gossip.
But what if he's not there? He could have fled, maybe even to Kuttenberg.
If I don't find him in Ujits, I'll ask around. Someone will know something about him.
All right. Better go to Ujits then. Find this limping footpad and get the names of the others out of him. They have to face justice for what they did. I want to see them hanged. Then bring him to me in Merhoyed, and I'll decide on his fate.
Certainly, sir.
Why choose Merhoyed?
It's somewhat at the centre of events, isn't it? And what's more, there's another stud farm there.
Sir, do you think they're going to try the same thing again?
I shouldn't think so. Everyone will be on the alert now, but the secluded dwellings are more vulnerable. There are few people in them. They're scattered everywhere, and we can't guard them all.
But the bandits won't find much silver in places like that.
There's always a groschen or two, some food and so on. Anyway, how much silver did they get from slaughtering those horses?
True. If they'd stolen them, they could have sold them. Those were fine animals.
Exactly. It's not about the silver. It's about something else.
But what?
creating fear. Such great terror that you won't even squeak when they come to cut your throat. Never mind raise your hand against them. Fear that will root you to the spot, staring like a rabbit entranced by a stoat, waiting for the death blow to fall, helpless to do anything about it.
I have some news about the...
Good. Tell me.
The trail leads to Ujits. I found out...
I see.
That's all I found out.
All right. Come back and... Good luck to you.
Yeah! 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 Yeah. Yeah.
I reckon we should never have taken those idiots along.
Yeah, only who could have known it would turn out like that?
For all the use they were, we might as well have taken a bunch of wenches.
There's always better.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Catch him! Thief! Thief! Stop him, someone! Somebody help me! Somebody help me! Somebody help me!
Yeah. Yeah.
Bollocks! You get what for?
Enough, please. I yield.
Had enough?
Please, leave me be. Look, it was only a few groschen.
No excuses. Hand it over.
Here.
You got the thrashing you deserved. I hope you've learned your lesson.
Yes, sir.
You really let him go? Just like that? And did you get the loot back?
I did. I have it here.
Thank you. That thieving magpie. You can't trust anyone these days. Ahem. And just so you know, I'm no pinch purse. Here's a small reward.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sacre. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Another thing about Lubosh.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time, and then yesterday he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
That's all. Thank you.
Take care.
God be with you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish.
Ask away.
Who was this Lubosh?
He was a drunkard and a beast, and lazy too. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
The only thing seemed suspicious was how a rogue like him suddenly started going to church. Now I see why, of course.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
What do I care about that scoundrel? I was glad he stayed out of my way.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
He was always a loner. Except lately he started talking to the...
That's all.
God bless.
Good day to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa.
Sir Hanish gives a job like that to a young fellow like you?
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord knows how he made a living. Well, maybe now I've got an idea or two.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately, not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church, as it happens.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home at all. Wait, are you saying he... Jesus.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
I really don't know. As far as I know, he had no kin. I never saw him with anyone.
That's all. Thank you.
Good luck to you. Good day to you. What do you need?
I've come in the name of Sir Hannah.
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered.
I didn't really know him. He kept...
Have you noticed that?
Well, come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhoff was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened,
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with?
Not with anyone from the village. I used to sit in the tavern next to...
That's all.
May the Lord watch over you.
God be with you.
I've come in...
Of course. Ask...
That man Lu...
He was a drunk. He was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked him much. But I wouldn't wish an end like that on anyone.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen him around for a while. No idea where he was skulking.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the...
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to...
He was a loner. He didn't even have...
That's all. Thank...
God be with you.
Good day to you. Good luck to you.
God be with you.
I've come in the name...
Of course. Ask away.
That man Lu...
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight.
Have you noticed...
Well, now I think of it.
That's all. What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted him? That would explain why he didn't scream. An inscription in blood. It's a pity I don't know how to read. Looks like they wanted to give someone a warning. But who? And a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything? Nothing here. Nothing here.
Why's that, for the love of God?
You know what my old man is like. Nothing ever good enough for him. Always turning his nose up at everything I cook.
You'd think he had blue blood. What is it this time?
He brought me a hare and said, make something special with it.
Ah, hickey is he?
That's putting it mildly. I can't do it in cream because it gives it gut trouble. He can't stand the smell of garlic. Hates mustard, and bacon is too common for him.
Oh, I see. That's when you said
My respects to you.
Another thing about...
God be with you.
God be with you.
What are you doing here?
Cože je to za dědina nedaleko?
God be with you. Take care now. Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush.
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to it.
That man Lubosh.
He was a strange one.
Well, do you know anyone?
I really don't know.
That's all.
Good day to you. What do you...
Is there anything suspicious?
Indeed there is. Around here, you should hear about what Vashek the groom has been up to at the stables. When the head groom told the lads here, they fell off their seats laughing. And there's more. Just last night, Father Godwin was here, calling fire and brimstone down on old Gertrude, the herb woman. He's not one to make a fuss over some trifle either.
Have you got a bed for the night?
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one night.
All right.
Here you go.
You'll like it here.
Where do I go to sleep?
You'll have no trouble finding it. Right inside the door to the building, there's a ladder up to the loft. Your bed's ready. May the Lord watch over you.
Good morning.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa.
I don't know how I can...
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was...
Have you?
There was...
That's all.
May the Lord watch over you. Hey.
Mother of God, you look like you've been assaulted.
You live here?
Of course.
I mean here, in the presbytery.
Yeah, right here.
In the presbytery? With the parish priest?
Yes. What's the matter? Don't you like me?
Yes.
So why are you surprised?
I'm not.
May the Lord watch over you.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Light. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty...
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity...
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances.
But Lubosh is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people...
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians?
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Suppose we talk it over in the evening. In the tavern. Over.
All right.
Farewell.
My respects to you.
I'd like to learn to read.
You? You don't look like the makings of a priest or clerk. But why not? I've taught all sorts. Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time and a few...
All right. I don't want to waste time. We can get started.
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though, and set aside at least a couple of days so I can put you through your paces, if indeed time is of the essence.
I don't have enough money.
Habit! Lovely, delicious habit!
The best of hell.
Hey, ale here.
One beer.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything.
There.
But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There's a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
A tankard
My
of ale
poor
for me.
child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
I notice there's a woman living with you at the presbytery.
What of it? Have you never met a cleric who lives with a woman before? Mother Church won't let me take her to wife. Too afraid it might lose its property to any heirs she bore me. But she cooks and cleans. And, well, as a man, I have my needs.
I'm not sure the parish priest at St. James would agree with you.
I heard he was a bit odd.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They don't know mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs. While Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits of Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted in... Oh, it's getting quite late. What are you...
What do you suppose?
Well, enjoy it, Father. I have to go.
I thought you'd be more game.
So you won't help me out with that secret?
No, I won't.
Thank you very much.
I'll have a beer.
You're welcome.
Ale.
God be with you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hannah.
I don't know nothing about...
That man Luke.
I didn't really...
That's all.
There. Satisfied?
God be with you.
Hey? Someone there?
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of...
I don't know.
That man Luke.
I didn't really know.
That's...
May the Lord watch over you.
Do you have any work that needs doing?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. Another pair of shoulders. I have to deal with a local...
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who will stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being...
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some...
A tankard here.
One ale, please.
What do you want me to do?
Ale for me.
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you...
Consider it done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gertrude, the old herb woman, in the woods. Farewell.
Good day to you.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it. Aye, for that amount I can be persuaded.
Have you got a bed for the night?
All right. For how long?
Just the one night?
Sure, but let's see your coin first. These are harsh times.
Here you go.
You'll like it here.
Jesus Christ be...
I've saved some coin.
Certainly. He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart. Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit. There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So tell me.
That being greedy doesn't pay.
Excellent. You're one of my most talented pupils. You've uncovered the meaning hidden in the letters. Like I told you, books are valuable. And the words that you place in them ought to be no less so.
Does that mean that I can read then?
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. To fully learn your way around words will take a lot more reading yet. Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many books are written in Latin, the language of erudite and religious men. If you really want to be able to read, there's no getting away from Latin. There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back. You need not understand it, but you should master the letters.
I only just managed the fable about the goose, and now you're asking me to tackle Latin.
You're a clever lad. You'll manage.
I read the page.
So tell me,
Dullest liver.
Not bad, my boy. Good effort. You're almost there, but you better go back and read it again.
read the page.
So tell me, Distrupule, what's written there?
Nullus est liber tam malus, ut non alique parte prosit.
Good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons before. Excellent. Well, there's nothing more I can teach you. Congratulations. You can go and be ordained right away.
Thank you, Domine. I'm feeling a lot wiser. Let's talk about the price.
Why not?
What do you say to this?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost.
I knew we'd come to an arrangement.
Good day to you.
Take care now.
Mushroom! Apple!
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
That sounded like...
My respects to you.
I've come in the name of...
Of course. Ask him.
That man Lubot.
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight.
That's all.
Any work going here?
Enough for a dozen men. You could take the place of that useless stable hand Vashek for a start.
What happened?
Just found out that he lost our pie.
Lost it where?
No, Pie was our fastest stallion.
Oh. Well, that's bad news. How did Vashek...
He fell, banged his head, and the horse bolted. Can you fathom it?
Well, I can't take Vashek's job, but I can try to find you a pie.
That would be nice of you. If there's anything you need to know, ask that fool. I was...
Right.
May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God be with you. Do you need anything?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Light.
Ask all you want, lad.
Who was this Lubosh who would...
Those that live by the sword die by the sword. I'm not surprised the end he came to.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Everything about him was suspicious. I always gave him a wide berth.
Have you noticed... Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day...
How would I know?
Do you know who Lu...
I don't know, since I...
That's all.
I've come from the priest. They're saying you incited...
Me? Witchcraft?
You'd be wise to give me a straight answer. I mean you no harm.
As long as it's the truth you speak. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
But I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions along. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see. A place of wonder and terror. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it...
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then flying to their Sabbaths on breeze.
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those foolish women get their hands on it.
Will you give me the ointment?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants.
And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing.
They burn them alive.
That they do. So don't...
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grief.
I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out from those women what they intend.
Very well.
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and good luck then.
Yeah.
What's... Hey! Hmm? My respects.
I've come in the name of...
I don't know.
That's all.
Good luck to you. Can I... She only started.
I'm not surprised.
Another one who thinks he's above the law. Do you hear?
Are you looking for someone? Eh?
I've got the money to pay that debt.
And I was afraid you had a chamber pot for a head. That job's still going.
I'm not interested.
Goodbye. By unlocking this trunk, hold the lock in the right hand and use it to feel out the tumbler. In your left hand, you hold the blade and use it to turn the whole mechanism right way. It's quite easy. It only takes a bit of practice. Now try poking around in the lock with the pick until you feel the right point where the tumble is. Got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock with the blade, but don't stop holding the tumbler with the pick. Otherwise, you'll be fucked and you'll have to start all over again. You forced it and broke the lockpick. That crack could be hurting Kuddenberg. You have to watch out for that. Hey, lad, don't you want a little wager on the Rattay tourney? What the hell was that? Can you tell me...
Do you know anything about those...
The heathen scum that Sigismund brought here. Why do you even ask? You've seen with your own two eyes what they...
That's all. Would you teach me something about the, milling craft?
Aye, why not? You're handy enough. No doubt you'll master it. Bye. Hey, lad! Don't you want a little wager on the... I'll stand here and pretend I don't know you're there. You try sneaking up behind me without me seeing you, and take something from my purse. First, you have to rummage in the purse. The longer you do it, the better chance you have of finding something valuable, but also of getting caught in the act. Once you've found something you want, you've got to pull it out, carefully, but fast enough so I don't notice. Try stealing my dagger. It's there, mixed up with other things. That's the way. I hardly noticed you were there. I think you're ready to try it out for real. Best practice on drunks and sleeping folk, so you don't end up in jail before you even get started.
Thanks, Peshek.
You're welcome. But I'll be having that dagger back now.
That job
You're an ungrateful pup, aren't you? Well, suit yourself. Gotta be with you. Good health to you. Farewell.